Hi guys, how's it going? Hope you're good. Today we're going to be unboxing and taking a look at the Huawei Watch GT2e, which I've struggled to say like 5 times now. The GT2e is a new version of the original GT2. From what I can see, it's not hugely different, but it is the latest full-size smartwatch from Huawei. It comes hot on the heels of my review of their little smart band here, the Huawei Band 4 Pro. Yep, that sounds right. So I'm going to be taking a look at this watch, going to be unboxing it now, going to go through all of its specs, features, take a look at the screen, take a look at what it can do. This is my first full Huawei smartwatch. I usually go for Amazfit smartwatches, but this is not much more expensive, around about £160. Obviously a little bit harder to get in the United States, so not sure how much it is in dollars. But yeah, let's go. Let's take a look. Boom. Okay, so here we have the Huawei Watch GT2e. Let's open her up. Okay, so here we have the watch. Its full dimensions is 53mm by 46.8mm by 10mm thick. And it weighs 43 grams. This is the first time I'm opening this, so I'm literally seeing it for the first time as you. Here is a charger, which seems to be in 2 parts, so we'll just plug this in so that I don't use it. It's USB-C. It's always good to have a spare USB-C cable lying around. Here, the warranty card, don't use that. The quick user guide, don't need that. And that is literally it, so it wasn't that exciting. So before we turn the watch on and take a look at what it can do, let's just look at the design of the watch. The watch face seems to be a dual metal and plastic design with just these 2 little buttons here, these 2 manual controls. The bezel seems to be made out of completely glass, or at least it's covered in glass, which is actually really cool. It makes it a kind of a unified design, very smooth. The screen seems to be quite large. I like how the strap is attached right to the edge. Sometimes these watches have like a big gap here, which I don't like. It does seem you can remove both straps. As you can see here, there's that little button to remove them, so it doesn't feel cheap. It's quite heavy, although not too heavy that it would be annoying. Overall, my first impressions are really good of the design. It looks really sleek. I like how it's all black. You can get different color bands. I saw a review with a red one, which wasn't to my taste, so I'm glad I got the black one. It's slightly thicker than most smartwatches that I get, but I mean, considering it is a full smartwatch, it's not too bad. It's compared to, say, something like this, the Amazfit Bip S. It's probably slightly thicker. However, the Huawei GT2e can do a lot more, and it's a lot more advanced. Let's turn it on and let's have a look. So I'm going to set it up, and in order to do that, you need to download the Huawei Health app, which I have. I mean, that was super easy. That literally took about 30 seconds from start to finish to find and pair the watch, which is pretty good. So let's take a look at this screen. Right from the start, it looks really colourful, really bright, as good basically as most smartwatches. It features a 1.39-inch AMOLED touch display with 454 by 454 pixels, and that's a pixel density of 326, which is actually pretty high. So it is very colourful, very bright. I think even in most daylight situations, you're going to be able to see this screen go. I mean, look, it's so colourful, so bright. Much better than, say, the more basic screens you get with screens like this, like the Amazfit Bip, which are, I'd say, better outdoors, like these transflective displays. They look better outdoors, easier to see the information, but you can't really beat these AMOLED screens. I know some people don't like them, but for me, I love the color and I love the brightness, and I think it's really, really nice. Let's take a look at the operating system, and it seems to be fairly similar to most other smartwatches that don't come with Wear OS. Whatever apps that this does have are the ones that you're going to be stuck with. You can't download things like Spotify and Uber. To just press this button to get access to the app. This watch seems to be quite focused on health and exercise. I know compared to the previous watch, the Huawei Watch GT2, it was a slightly different design. This is a slightly more sporty design, and it has some extra sports apps. So it seems, yeah, there's actually quite a lot here for such a well-priced smartwatch. Breathing exercises, God, I could do with some of those. Barometer, which is nice to see. Not every smartwatch has that anymore. And some of the other kind of extra things you get, like the weather, which today was rain, 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 and more rain. So yeah, fairly standard for apps and functionality, but I'd say very much weighted towards health and working out and fitness, which is great because, let's face it, we could all do with a bit of fitness these days, get our health as good as possible. Now, I've just put it on for the first time and it does feel pretty comfortable. I was slightly worried it might be too thick as I have, quite thin wrists. As I know some people worry about wearing thicker smartwatches. If they have thin wrists, is it going to be comfortable? Is it going to stick out too much? But I think that actually looks okay and it's super comfortable. I mean, I'm not feeling any discomfort. I mean, if I just put it on, I'll have to wear it all day to actually find out. As you can see here, it's already starting to measure my heart rate, which let's go on to that. Let's go on to what sensors the watch has. The Huawei Watch GT2e actually has quite a lot of sensors. It has an accelerometer, a gyroscope, heart rate monitor, a barometer, a compass, and an Spo2 tracker. So we can see the heart rate monitor here already monitoring my heart rate as soon as I put it on. I find the Huawei watches to be fairly accurate when measuring heart rate. I mean, I've tried one before and it seemed to do better than most other smartwatches. They do use the latest technology, heart rate monitoring technology in their newer watches. It does feature always on monitoring, so you can monitor your heart rate continuously throughout the 24-hour period. That means you can get a pretty accurate resting heart rate reading after that amount of time, which is really what you're trying to look for. You want to try and get your resting heart rate to be as low as possible. That indicates that you're more healthy. The Spo2 tracker will be able to monitor your blood oxygenation levels. That's basically how much oxygen is getting into your blood. Now, this is a fairly new tracker for most smartwatches. I can't actually find where it gives that reading. Maybe it's in the sports modes that it does that. But essentially, this is good for tracking your sleep. It will let you know if you're getting enough oxygen when you sleep. It could indicate sleep apnea. If there is an issue there, you might be able to spot that. I should also mention that the battery life on this watch is 455 mAh, which should last. I mean, it's going to depend on what you activate. If you use the GPS a lot, if you use the always on heart rate monitor, but I've been told around about a week of average use, so that would be pretty awesome if that is true. Now, there are plenty of workout options and workout tracking modes. I've just discovered that the manual button at the bottom takes you straight to those workouts, which you can activate here. So there's plenty to choose from, 13 running courses altogether, different types of running, walking, cycling, which I do a lot of, swimming. I should mention that this is waterproof to 50 meters, so you can definitely take it swimming and it's not going to break. So activating one of these sports modes will activate the tracking and the monitoring. As you can see here, I've just selected a run and it's already tracking heart rate. It's activating the GPS, which will track my location and speed, distance, stuff like that, and it will all feed that data into the app. Now, this does have an internal GPS, which means you don't necessarily have to connect it to your phone, so that is awesome. I love watches that have their own GPS. You don't have to worry about maintaining that connection. And I've found generally that the GPS in Huawei watches is pretty good. I will obviously test this properly and see how accurate the GPS is. And it also has some other tracking features like this barometer, so that's pretty cool. I don't have much use for it myself. So I'm pretty impressed so far with this watch. Just been wearing it for a good 15-20 minutes, just having a look at the menu system. I think it looks amazing. I love this screen. It's so bright, so colorful, very sharp. I mean, the resolution is so good for a smartwatch. The strap, I mean, it's cheap, it's rubber, it's not the best thing in the world, but it seems to be quite comfortable. There's no speaker, there's no microphone, so you can't make and receive calls. You have to go to your phone to do that, but it will display notifications. I'm going to set it up to deliver my WhatsApp, Instagram notifications. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's the Huawei Watch GT2e unboxing. These are my first impressions. I really like the design of the watch so far. I really love the screen. Seems to be quite feature heavy, lots of tracking features for sports and health, which is mostly what these watches are geared to these days. So yeah, guys, that's it. Let me know what you think of the Huawei Watch GT2e. If you have any questions about this watch, let me know in the next week or so, and I will obviously include that in my review. Stay tuned for the review, which will be coming soon, so subscribe for that. That would be awesome. But until next time, I hope you found that useful, and I will see you around. Bye.